It is seriously so weird that no one is here. When people are talking online about the topic of modesty, there tends to be two sort of very polarizing sides. One side will say, you're not allowed to wear this, you're not allowed to wear that, and there are a lot of rules and not a lot of grace. And then another side will say, you can wear whatever you want because you're made in God's image, and because Jesus said that if your eye causes you to sin, to gouge it out. Therefore, we can wear whatever we want, and if it causes somebody to stumble, then it's their fault. It's their fault, and they should pluck their eye out. And honestly, I think both of those sides are wrong, because they don't actually focus on the real issue, which is the heart. Modesty comes down to the heart. For me personally, nobody pulled me aside and talked to me about modesty. It was just through reading the Bible and reading these verses. You know, it says in Proverbs that charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, but from a gentle and quiet spirit, and that a gentle and quiet spirit is of great worth in God's eyes. It's very precious. I can't believe no one is here. This garden is free, and it's so nice. It wasn't just that they said, charm is deceptive, beauty is fleeting, and your beauty shouldn't come from outward adornment. It was the continuation of the verses that said, a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised, and that a gentle and quiet spirit is of great worth in God's eyes, or that it's precious in the sight of God. That was really what it came down to, was that I cared about what God thought, not about people. And people will say, well, Paul wasn't talking about clothing. He was talking about elaborate jewelry and fancy hairstyles, and modesty is about not showing off your wealth, not about not showing off your body. No, I two things can be true at once. It can be both. Modesty can be about having healthy boundaries with what you wear. It can also be about not showing off your wealth. But at the end of the day, it does come down to the heart. That's why we can't have a bunch of rules. Your dress has to be this long. You have to have your shoulders covered. Those rules don't really work, because you can have a full-length skirt and be completely covered and still have an immodest heart. I guess the point that I want to make with this is just an encouragement to start thinking about it. It's not about completing the journey today or tomorrow or even next week. It's just about starting the journey. I think it begins with being in Scripture and having your heart and your mind transformed through that and through prayer. A really helpful quote that I've heard is that your clothing should be a frame for your face, because your countenance, your joy, your love, that's where your beauty comes from.
Clothing does not exist. It should not be worn in order to attract attention to what it covers. Instead, positively, clothing is meant to attract attention to what is exposed. Hands that serve each other. If you're in a warm climate, feet that take the gospel to where it needs to go. And in all climates, faces that are radiant with the glory of God that you've seen in the gospel.
True change doesn't begin in the closet. It begins in the heart. And the closet is just an outward reflection of that. So your beauty doesn't come from your body, and not to say that your beauty comes from having a beautiful face, but it's your countenance that's beautiful. It's the joy and the love and the way that you radiate Christ. By the way, I don't know if you can see him, but it's the fat cat down there. Goodness, what a chunky boy. I don't want to put my own convictions onto anybody and tell people that they can and can't wear certain things or they shouldn't dress a certain way. I just care about people's heart. We can't necessarily look at somebody and tell the intentions of their heart based on what they wear, so I encourage everybody to give people the benefit of the doubt. For me, the real change happened when I read those verses, and I don't know, it just really spoke to me that it's precious in God's sight, and I wanted to please God and not please people. Anyway, I hope that it encourages somebody. Sometimes I wonder if I should write a script, because I feel like I'm just kind of yapping. But I hope that it makes sense to somebody. Anyway, if one person is encouraged by this, then it's worth it. So may God bless you. And I pray that God would be glorified in our lives in every way, in our conduct, in our countenance, in our wardrobe, and everything. Hi. Hi. かわいい。名前は？かりん。かりん。かりん。かりん。もうかわいい。ありがとうございます。